Hi there, I hope this moment finds you well. Welcome to Elida Art and Spirit Studio. This is my second junk journal and it came about because I fell in love with the floral pattern. I upcycled a dress that I had bought at an op shop thrift store that I've never worn, and it was a shame to return it because I decided to just have fun junk journaling. And this diamond cross stitch binding I'm so in love with. I will continue to use it until I want to try something else. I also ink dyed strips of satin material to create the tie. I have a floral button here, a tuck spot made out of black lace, and this is a silk pocket or a tuck spot that just offers the owner a place to write their name, and the hinge is made out of a punch. I titled the book Me Time, and that inspired a poem. You can pause if you wish to read it. Because I'm all about, self-awareness, self-care, learning, growing, and bettering oneself, because life forces you to, otherwise you're very unhappy. I, in a way, dedicate this journal to my own journey and what I wish to do for myself. This is a postcard from Monet's artwork. I absolutely love his style. That's tea-dyed scrapbooking paper and got lace. It's a journaling spot. I enjoy tea dyeing a lot. It's just so satisfying to see what happens to the papers, and I like to experiment and also play around with different colors and inks in it, and adding coffee or whatever I can find. So this is just a beautiful blank card that the owner can turn into a booklet or gift to someone if they wish. Okay, so we've got some journaling prompts here that say I will let go of, I'm grateful for, I will focus on. And what I decided to do, which I thought was a lot of fun, was to include materials from my previous junk journal at the beginning and material from my following journal at the end of each of my junk journals as a link. And it'll be exciting for the owner to see what the material was used in the previous journal. And that is probably the tiniest button you've ever seen, which I thought was cute. So there's lots of space for writing if somebody wants to use it as a journaling journal. There's also a lot of space to be creative, artistic, and this is avocado dyed paper with the stencil of a butterfly on it, which could easily be colored in, beautified, or just written over. And more available space for creativity. So this is just a die cut that could be used for journaling or turned into a little booklet. They're both, no, this is avocado dyed. Vintage writing paper, the feel is just amazing. And just little tags, because I encourage creativity a lot. Even people who say I'm not an artist, you're an artist, you just haven't practiced expressing your creativity. a special paper, decoupaged, beautiful napkin. I have included a die card for the owner to turn into envelope and have some creative fun. And more of that vintage writing paper. And I have a vintage article here. What makes a great rug? Just for entertainment for the owner, or it can be used into, you know, making tags or whatever the owner feels that creatively inspired to do. So here I have a double belly band and a beautiful brad. I haven't put anything in there because the journal is abundant enough as it is, and that beautiful ribbon is just hiding the brad. Writing space. I'm not good at gel printing, so these are my first attempts, but because I love textures and colors, I absolutely love how this turned out, and it's done on paper napkin that I have stiffened using PVA glue, water, and I like to put a tablespoon of tapioca starch in my mix because it gets rid of the glue shine. So we have a gorgeous imprint of a leaf here. And what I found truly amazing, I don't know if you're slightly dyslexic like me, you'll be able to see an outline of a female. So this is the back of a head rest, and that's the forehead, and that's the side cheek going into a chin and a side shoulder. So it's like a Madonna kind of a female. I don't know if that's going to come through the camera, but like I said, I can still see it. And I love how these beautiful happy accidents happen when you're creating things you don't expect that just make you smile. It's just a fancy punch on avocado dyed paper. Journaling space. And trust your instincts as always. We got some glitter that's been secured with decoupage technique and a journaling prompt that could be hidden behind here, and that's just a fancy punch. This is ironed plastic bag, which just makes for beautiful texture. And that could also be used creatively by the owner. They could put photos on it and make a pocket out of it. There is a beautiful fancy washi tape here. It looks like lace. Some journaling space. Again, I have a die cut so the owner can get creative. And a tuck spot there. More ephemera for creative expression on Momigami paper that's been avocado dyed. I absolutely love that color, it's so gorgeous. And there's a little side pocket there. I love the rose die cut. This paper has gold flecks throughout. Hopefully it comes through a little bit. And there are so many beautiful reasons to be happy. That could be a journaling prompt if the writer wanted to. So this is just a book page. And in an attempt to keep the music paper horizontal, I bound two together and created these little pockets, which I think are really cute. And I love roses. I know it's not original, but they are so beautiful. And in here, this tiny little envelope that I fussy cut from. This is those photo albums, that plasticky stuff that holds the photos and you don't know what to do with when you've demolished one for your creativity. I thought it looked gorgeous in a little tiny envelope, and it's full of little love hearts that have been die cut. That could be also used creatively in a journal. Gorgeous lace there. And I think that's just journaling spot. You know, a photo could be pasted there. And I love these large stickers. I've also did the PVA glue on it to get rid of the shine. And this ribbon comes off fully. It's just a hidden pocket. With beautiful die cut love hearts in there. And the owner can put some special memories in there if they wish. Small punches to reinforce the binding. Again, a punched piece of paper that's been tea-dyed that can be used creatively in the journal. I think you could so easily spend a whole year in one of these journals, being creative, colouring in, writing, putting your special memories and tickets in there, whatever you wish. So that was a punch that's had a, no, I think they're both, yeah, they're both punches. So more ephemera for creative expression. And so that's I Knew You. Cute little tags. So this is another beautiful die cut. The best is yet to come. Journaling space. And that is a die cut. Because the plastic bag itself has little butterflies, I don't know if they're coming through. So another journaling prompt, perhaps the owner wants to write about where they wish to go to escape. And that's just a flip out that can be incorporated creatively somewhere else in the journal. And this was fun. It's just a strip of material that I tea-dyed and put a stamp that says there is always something to be thankful for. And we have little tags for journaling space and a gorgeous little love heart that's supposed to be nail jewelry. And I have this, hopefully will come through. It's absolutely gorgeous crystal paste that just gives the texture a beautiful bling. Kind of looks like stars in the sky. And more writing space. So in here I have put in one of my older artworks. I thought the owner might wish to do something with the artwork, whether frame it or use it in a journal. There's lots of journaling space, and there is a bit of a theme in this journal which came about unexpectedly. So when you note her dress, I'll tell you more later. So this is the other side of the napkin, and these are fun to make. It's just a corner page holder in a sense with a doily punch, and I've got a rhinestone there. It's just holding the envelope in place, which I haven't decorated, but I left that for the owner to play with if they wish. So this is from an antique magazine. And more punches to be incorporated in the journal that have been avocado dyed. Lots of space available for creative expression. And that is fussy cut love heart with that's been turned into a pocket. And that's a gorgeous paper clip that says love on it, and it has a little porcupine. That's a napkin that's been decoupaged on avocado dyed paper. Once upon a time, the owner can write about their story. And just more die cuts for creative expression. Now we're into the second signature. Avocado dyed coloring book. And that is gesso paint, which I added pure talcum powder to it to give it some body, because I don't have the modeling paste, and it works just as well. And this is a floating page which came about by accident, which I thought is a beautiful way for the owner to write a list of gratitude or whatever it is they really wanted that could be moved around throughout the journal. When I was designing it, I didn't glue it down fully because I didn't want the glue seeping through the punch. And then I realized, oh, but that holds so well against the page. It's actually a floating page. So, like we have floating pockets, why not have a floating page? Again, I have a doily here which I've attached in a way if somebody wanted to repurpose it years down the track, it's possible to do so. It has a hidden pocket. Miracles happen could be another journaling prompt, and this is a book page. And that's just beautiful paper to write on or to use creatively. There's some sewing in the journal. There is vintage lace here. And what do we have here? Oh, more ephemera for creative expression. And these altered paper clips I think are pretty cute because they look like a duck, head of the duck and the wing. This is from vintage paper, a brief history of the cutting of diamonds. Again, just for fun reading or to be used in creative projects by the owner. Okay, we have another decoupage napkin here with a crocheted doily and an emerald rhinestone in the middle. Again, more ephemera for me time, creative fun. As a child, I used to love finder words. And Rose's journaling card. And that says, "You've got this." It's an index card that I tea-dyed, and the water made the backing warp, so I stripped it off, which was a lot of fun because it could be used in another project. Again, it could be a journaling prompt that's also been sewn. I'll put that back later. And this is paper made out of stone, which is pretty amazing. It feels a lot smoother and it's a lot heavier than ordinary paper. I have a die cut pocket here and a tag that can be colored in. A belly band with a tiny pocket. You got this. Just in case you need a reminder. Sometimes we get carried away with our thoughts, worrying over nothing. So this is just cardstock that helps, to keep the structure of the journal. And that is an inspiration card that says, "I honor how I want to feel." Could be another journaling prompt. And that's a die cut. See, there's plenty of space for the owner to be creative or to write. And this is vintage notepad that I avocado dyed, and I stamped it with a fancy punch, and I think it just looks beautiful. And, I decided to do these types of side pockets because they give structure to the momigami paper, and there's something beautiful about just seeing textures and colors. It really captures your attention. And here I have a die cut from a feather from a napkin, so it kind of looks like a ghost feather. I don't know if you can see it. It's a cute little cat there. Ephemera for further creative expression by the owner. And that's just tea-dyed paper. Again, more ephemera. We've got beautiful lace there, which creates a pocket here. We have a double pocket and a belly band. So this is tissue paper that I used beeswax, and it's come up just beautiful. The owner can put an image behind that. I think it will look lovely. I didn't want to go overboard. And here we have a little tuck spot that holds the center of the signature, which is one of my old sketches. And she's unfinished because I imagine the owner might want to color her in or write all over her or just really make her own. So we have a floating pocket. Okay, I didn't put anything in there. Alright, and this is really cute. It's a die cut that I've turned into a little basket. You can't really keep a lot of things in there, then these die cuts are just for the owner to be creative elsewhere or whatever the owner wishes to do with it. I thought it was just so gorgeous. And here also have a side pocket with die cut for creative expression. This is a punch from a scrapbooking paper. More journaling space. Washi tape. journaling space pocket from napkin. And I thought this is a cute way to use the strings from tea bags, because these little holes are so small. And over here I have a bit of interest, and again just journaling space with a fancy punch there as well. So we've got a tag that can be coloured in or written over, and got a little side pocket made out of applique from a top. I'll get so many uses out of it. Lots of available space for creativity, for writing. And this was just a notepad I've had for probably 20 years, so I could say it was vintage, which I've tea-dyed. Tuck spot there on the stone paper. And there's a 3D embossed rose in there. I don't know if it's coming through, on avocado dyed paper. These pockets come in handy for, you know, the owner to put their personal things like tickets and photos or anything they wish as a keepsake. Again, just more ephemera for creativity. I love this beautiful lace. It feels vintage, if not antique. So this was just me having fun, and given if it's my second junk journal, I've decided to pop that in there. The owner can do whatever they wish. Honestly, with all this ephemera, they could just walk to the recycle bin if they wanted to, if they didn't need to use it. And that's just really pretty packaging tape. I use it there to reinforce the signature, and that's also just cute. Writing spot and belly band made out of lace, which also feels vintage. Sometimes you don't know when you buy them from an op shop, but usually by the feel you can tell. Yeah, so we've got a pocket here, just a tag, more writing space, some black lace there, and I have a full page belly band made out of lace, which I avocado dyed, and I think it just looks really beautiful against the black background. But yeah, definitely something could be tucked in there easily. Okay, so this is a bookmark that I innovated over 20 years ago, so it's technically vintage as well. It's a stainless steel clip on satin ribbon, which I called E-mark. And I sold enough in a way to get back the return on my investment, but I didn't pursue it because family life was more important to me than pursuing a career, as you know how we were raised back in the day. And also I have them available in my new Etsy shop in case anybody was interested in different colors and different sizes. I thought the owner might want to use it. If they're an avid reader, they could just use it in their own books, or just here in the junk journal. This here is the little punches made out of actual tea bags, those single-use tea bags that come in beautiful colored packaging, and I decoupaged them behind the ghost shadow of napkin. And this is a hidden paper clip. Who doesn't want to be wild and free? So I thought this large circle was fun for journaling on. Okay, how do I have that? Okay. See, I like to do one side shorter than the other so it's easy to slip on. And there's a tuck spot there. So over here we have 2 tags waiting for creative expression by the owner on avocado dyed paper. That's quite thick, so I think that might be watercolor paper. And we have the crochet pocket here. I love hearts, so you'll see them throughout all my journals, probably roses too, and that makes a beautiful pocket there. And that's from scrapbook paper, and it's about tea leaves. Again, fun entertainment, or it can be crafted upon by the owner. Nothing is permanent with these junk journals. The owner can do whatever they wish. So that's beautiful old lace as well, and that's onion dyed paper. I wasn't a fan of onion dyeing paper, but you never know, I might do it again down the track. So that's scrapbooking paper. We've got some ephemera for the owner to use. Now the happy surprise is I've got this map, book of maps, and I just randomly pulled out a page to use in this junk journal. And when I saw Madrid, I was excited because I'm learning Spanish just for fun, and maybe hopefully one day I will visit Spain, and I'd love to go to Latin America as well. And I realized, well, this journal is asking for a bit of a Spanish feel, and that's why we have the artwork that I showed you earlier. I don't know if I can find it now, with the dancers. Oh, it's not there. Oh, yeah, never mind. You can see it on the video. So, because apparently, yeah, in Madrid, they like to dance. Is it flamenco? Flamenco dancing, I believe. Salsa and all that is Latin America dance. So I've used the map to create a pocket for this cute little booklet, which has a range of scrap papers, and the owner could possibly journal about where they wish to travel. And that's stitched by the sewing machine. And again, we've got some ephemera here. Love has no owner. The essence is given in order to be embodied by the giver. One of my intuitive quotes might inspire something in someone, and that just lives there for now. So I've got a stencil there with a Tim Holtz ink on it. This is a book page, and I've made a tag out of the same material as this junk journal. Another tag for decorating, and this cute little dongle holds the center of the signature. So I do have the 3-hole binding here, and a sketch that the owner can do whatever they wish with in this little spot of writing. And this gorgeous leaf came from local botanic gardens that we have here in New South Wales, which is so beautiful, and I'm so happy that the colour got preserved. It didn't fade out. I've attached it on a piece of paper that's also been tea dyed, I believe, on paper with green lines. It just looks so beautiful. And I've used contact paper to secure the leaf. I don't have those machines. I can't remember what are they called now. But I decided to use contact as it does just as good a job, and if for whatever reason you wanted to separate it, you could access the leaf if you needed to. So that's the other side of the page, which is a cute little bird. It's avocado dyed paper for journaling prompt. I mean journaling space. Isn't it funny how when you're recording your mind just goes blank? And I have special paper there that's been tea dyed. It's got a beautiful gloss to it, like a pearl gloss. And this is also just over the page, journaling space. This has been embossed, this paper, this page, and it looks beautiful. And that is a postcard. More creative writing or journaling. A beautiful lace there, which is also a belly band. And this is the middle of the signature, and I've used an envelope to hide the binding because it looks messy. It's not a pretty binding. And I found these envelopes in an op shop, and they've been hand crafted with leaves and string. They look really beautiful. So it serves as a pocket here. And I have created this little booklet out of a paper bag. And I have a little die cut there. I think actually that's been fussy cut before I got my die cut machine. So waterfall. I'm trying to keep the book from closing. So we have a waterfall here with different papers, colouring paper, and has a little pocket in here, which is cute. And there's another pocket here which holds the punch that's created the window. We're almost there. And this is a printout from one of my designs. I've been playing around with AI to see what is possible creatively. And it says love is power, which look how beautiful that shadow has come through. Lots of journaling space. And the colors matched beautifully. Again, just more journaling spot. That's a sticker. That's also handmade paper. Oh, I'm not going to open it because it's been closed together by the beautiful cord there. Die cut flowers of vellum paper with a rhinestone. Again, this is a little sketch that I tea dyed, and it faded into this shadow. It's like a negative of an artwork, which would be a lot of fun for the writer, for the owner, to write over or to draw over. Another belly band that's been tea dyed. Another top pocket. That looks like avocado dyed note page. Scrapbooking paper. That's onion dyed, and I put the stencil on top that's giving me these beautiful love hearts. That's a decoupage napkin. We have a colouring page. And this is avocado dye paper. If you wish to pause and read that. One of my intuitive writings. It might inspire someone. It might not. That's okay. I think we do what we do because it gives us satisfaction and it makes us feel happier than just constantly consuming stuff. Being creative is, I think, the ultimate satisfaction you can find, because when you buy something, it will only last you a short while, but when you're creating, you're constantly receiving satisfaction from your creative expression. So this wonky envelope I created because it actually lists Madrid there. It is part of the map that I demolished. And that's just fun ephemera for the owner to play with. Lots more where that came from. So these things can be removed if the owner didn't like the journal so abundant. This is also a pull-out journaling spot that's been tea-dyed. And my third journal, which I'm going to keep for myself, and maybe you'll see why in the future video, is going to be made out of denim and lace. I'll pop that back in later. Okay, so in here is something that I created as journaling prompts. What moves me to feel alive? A sacred journey of self-inquiry to discover a personally meaningful and vibrant way of life. So there is just 3 pages of journaling prompts which help you to see who you are, what you wish for, what makes you happy, what makes you want to feel more alive. If you self-explore, if you self-care, just by going through the questionnaire, you'll tap into your intuition and you'll be able to recognize maybe what's at the back of your mind about who you are and what you wish for yourself in life. Often as carers, we just tend to put others in front of us and neglect our own inner child, our inner self. And then when you get to my age and you burn out, you have to question what life is about and what can I do better to honor myself. So again, if the owner doesn't resonate with that, they can just easily, remove it from the journal, make the journal their own. And so I've got a quote from a vintage diary that I kept all those years ago with European coffee stain on it. It's a mark of the artist's life. I love my Turkish coffee. It powers me up for the day. And this is a die cut envelope. These are cute little reminders, just to get the owner out of their head and into more of a positive mindset. After all we have is our thoughts navigating our future. And this was a lot of fun to make. It's a collage of pockets and tuck spots. And that says private. And it's a nurse about to open a door. And that's decoupaged tea bag, and that is cheesecloth that's been decoupaged on that piece of paper. Here we have a die cut, potentially future booklet or journaling spot, and that's embossed writing space. And that's a large tag with lots of writing space that's been also tea dyed. And we are at the end of the journal, and that's a board to help with writing in the journal. And here we go, we have a flamenco dancer, Dance with Life, and Made with Love. Here we have more of that black lace as a pocket, and a gorgeous rosette that's also supposed to be nail art. I thought it would just look gorgeous in the journal. And there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found something interesting and inspiring. And the title will say whether the journal's available or it has sold. I am more doing this to enjoy the creativity myself. I don't know what's coming up in my life in terms of career. I just know that creativity is offering a lot of healing for me right now, and I'm making use of my old sketches, and it's just, I love watching other people's creations. I know I'm not that confident in expressing my words, but it is something I am working towards improving, because after all you have really is yourself, in terms of speaking up for yourself and sharing of yourself to others in life. And growing up totally introverted, it's developed my creativity a lot, but I'm at a point in my life that it's nice to actually share beautiful memories and creative experiments, which I'd love to experiment more so than, repeating the same process. But let's see where the journey takes us all. Once again, thank you for being here. I hope you found something inspiring, and I hope you take better care of yourself, because you matter in your life. And leave me a comment if you wish to share anything. Otherwise, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.